Oh, okay, we're live. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I said, oh my goodness, like I have something going on. Like, oh my god, what am I doing? So, things are still a little rough as far as me setting up. I had to double check my audio, and it seems like there still might be some issues with my audio, but it should at least like work. Let me put some music on in the background, and let me definitely turn that down for me. All right, this sounds about the same. All right. So yeah, we're gonna continue working on the last piece that I started in the last stream. Uh, I don't remember what I called it. I think it's just Hitman, but it's not like Hitman the video game. Although I do love the video games, all of them. Obviously, Blood Money still peak, but you know the new ones are really good too in a slightly different way. Let's see. Let's see. Apparently, my brother's mad because I didn't get him a Danish when I was at a coffee shop. Which I mean, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna continue working on this lad. I went through back and named all the layers, organized them around a little bit, clean things up, so we should be ready to get started on the inks. Everything's pretty much clean as far as I want it to be. Just maybe a little bit of refining, like little details. But just give me a moment to play with the camera for a bit. I also had to completely change my microphone from last time because the settings were completely just cracked up. So you should be able to hear me pretty okay now. I think I do cut out a little bit because of the noise gate, but it should be at least better than it was yesterday. Like you should at least be able to understand what I'm saying. Let's see. Why can't I see my chat? Hang on a second. Okay, that's over there. Chenerino's up. Oh, hold on, it's not. I gotta add my account again. There we go. I hooked that back up. So now I can see my chat. Me chat. Then I just need to play with the camera for a bit. And maybe I should go ahead and work on change that overlay too. No. Topic. Working on quote Hitman. Or I might have a different name for the piece. I think I named it like transfer pending, like he's waiting on the money to come in, because that's essentially what's going on. So it's a kind of a more subtle way to get exactly like the what's going on, which is him waiting on money to come in, but without having to say, oh yeah, he's about to kill a guy, and then not be monetizable. I mean, granted, it's probably not monetizable anyway because it's a dude with a gun, and the intention is pretty clear, but try to worm your way around those things. And also, it's a little bit more clever than just Hitman. It's transfer pending. Like there's a little bit more to the story there. Sorry, just got my coffee over here. Now I'm gonna play with the camera. Where's my camera? There you go. Oh yeah, and if you guys have any issues with the audio or can't understand what I'm saying, just go ahead and let me know. I'd really appreciate it because it's really frustrating to find that out way too late. Let's see, put you down. There we go. All right, so the white balance, let's tweak that. Orange, but not too orange. Bit of the saturation, but not too much. Make the exposure brighter, but bring down the brightness on the other end. so I can more fine tune it. And maybe touch up the contrast just a bit. There we go. Okay. I think we're all good as far as that goes. Alright. I don't think there's anything else I gotta do to set up. Oh, I should have grabbed a water before I started. Got my pen. Got my character. I had so much fun working on the what's it called? The perspective of the drawing. That was really fun to do. Do I still have that? Is there any way to turn that back on? It'd be fine if I don't, because like I don't need it on. Yeah, they're still there. Nope, that's not what I want. Yeah, I think I might need it on to turn back on the clouds. Hold on. So I can like continue the clouds to also fit in the perspective. So let me see if I can do that just real quick. Just a little bit more splotchiness. A little bit more variety. Where do I have these going? I'm blocking out the clouds so they fit into the perspective a bit. But then once I get them into that shape, I'll break them apart. Okay. I also got a post made today. It was just a commission I did for one of my close friends. So if you want to go just pop into my Instagram and just give that one a like, I'd really appreciate it. Here we go. Is that right? Hang on, I'm trying to keep track of which one. There we go. One second. They just let me know that my dinner's ready, but I'm not gonna be able to eat it. I don't like eating on stream, it feels weird. I'm not like intensely hungry or anything, so I'll be alright. Just a few more. Trying to add layers to it now. So usually the inking stage is probably my least favorite. There's nothing really wrong with it, but like it's not like the most exciting. It's literally just tracing and me just cleaning things up as far as the line art. And I'm wondering if maybe I want to try a more rendered look this time than I usually do. Hang on a second. I think I'm following the wrong one. No, this is the right one. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off these guides so I can just like break apart these clouds now. Now that we got them blocked in, I can make them look more cloudy. Give them more like wacky shapes. And also make them not look as intentionally square. It doesn't really matter because, you know, they're going to be clouds. They're not going to be super noticeable in the first place. They're probably going to be eventually like blurred out and everything. But yeah, it's nice to, you know, take your time with some of the smaller details, even if they're not really going to matter. I remember one of my friends during one of my streams was mentioning that the fact that I care about like some of those small details that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things is kind of a sign that I'm really passionate about what I do, and I can see that. Like that's it assuages my ego just right, just enough. You know, we like a little bit of ego stroking here. Reminds me when I looked up my my personality type on that Myers-Briggs thingamabob, just for the fun and jokes, because I don't, you know, they're very basically like they're like a astrology test, but for people who think that astrology tests are dumb. It's like we all have like our things that we're dumb and into. What is this? I'm trying to give some more like abstract texture. This seems too pointy. What is that? Cone text. But like they also tell you what celebrities also have the same personality type as you, and mine was like Einstein and Martin Luther King. I was like, all right, like listen, I appreciate it, but I am not gonna go around thinking like, oh, I have the same personality type as Mr. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, the Reverend Dr. Martin. Whoa, 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 whoa. This brush might be too big. The delay like started to catch up, and I couldn't tell what I was doing anymore. Maybe too blurry. Too blurry. I don't remember what textures I used to get like this really chaotic thing in the background. I'm using the textures. Just to give some like noise to the background. What is this? Rust. It's not exactly what you think of whenever you go for like a sky texture, but you know, you make do with what you got. Let's see, do we have a cloud texture? This is just like a bundle of a bunch of brushes. Oh, there's a cloud section I just wasn't using. It's too specific. Yeah, this is a little bit more chaotic and abstract. Sometimes these like stamp brushes can feel a little bit like cheating to me, but I know that's something I kind of just gotta swallow and get over, because doesn't really, there's no real such thing as like cheating when it comes to art, except for debatably AI, but you know, they're all just like tools of the trade. I like to be like very broad in my definition of like what is and isn't art, because I think it's like you can get very hoity-toity, very white towery about what is and what can and can't be included in the club. And that's not really fun to do. That's not really a fun way to exist. All right, so let's draw him down. I'm gonna actually turn off like a lot of the background off too. We're just gonna focus on getting him clean. Maybe the little thing that he's stepping onto. I'm gonna do that first. I'm gonna make sure that's clean, so we know like the borders of the character before anything. Where would that be? Okay, it's just included onto this like building guide. I'm gonna put it in between these two layers. Let's see. Maybe select an actual brush instead of a painting brush. I'm just gonna do this like I did with some of my most recent pieces and just use like my pencil texture, even though this is supposed to be like clean line art, because I just like the pencil. And just having like a little bit of texture is nice for this kind of thing. Maybe I should be a little cheap. Again, it's not cheating, but my brain keeps acting like it's cheating. It's just doing things in an efficient way. There's the stubborn part of me that's like, no, this isn't pure. Real artists just do everything from their head, which is not true. But that's kind of like the idiot in my head, like taking control. Sometimes you gotta tell the dumb demons in your head to shut up. Okay, now we can do the inks for the character. Okay. Let's start with the head, because I always like starting with the head of a character. I'm gonna bring this down to like a 10. 10 might even be too big, but we're gonna keep it here just to start. Oop, that's not what I want. As far as making like really clean line art, I'm still kind of fighting with exactly how clean do I need the line art to be. Because when it first started, it was like, you know, like I wanted every single line to have like a very noticeable like cleanness to it, and like everything was done exactly how I wanted it to be. But after doing this for a little while, I'm starting to realize like, and seeing like other artists do it, like unless you get like into the very, very, very like clean precision artists, usually people don't mind like your lines being pretty jagged, or you know, like incomplete. You don't have to like do a completely clean stroke every single time you do a like a strand of hair. His mouth is looking a little too pouty, like too cartoonishly pouty. Like I want him to have like a dour expression, but like not like Sometimes with edgy characters that are too cool to show emotion, they'll be like a little bit comical, where they're like, I'm not even gonna show emotion in situations where I clearly probably should. Otherwise, I'd be seen as a psychopath, sociopath, I guess is more accurate. I'm gonna go down to like an 8 for some of these face details. Face details. The eyes are always super important. For me, at least. I have this one eye glowing, but that's gonna be just more of a lighting thing. Because this, like, I'm thinking this section's gonna be like completely in shadow, like this half of the face. And then we're gonna have like just the eye, the like silhouette of the eye poking out. He doesn't have like one of those cataract eyes that look like they're completely blank. Besides, his scar is on the eye that it's like still working just fine. His eye didn't get damaged. It was just like the eyelid. Who knows what happened? Maybe this eye it wasn't even like from something he got at work. Maybe it was just like he scratched it a little too hard. He tripped and fell. That's how we got these scars. But he tells everybody it's like a shark attack or something. Or he like assassinated a prince that was like armed with a sword. Something crazy. Just like bring up the price of his contracts. I've had the idea for like Hitman in a world full of superheroes, kind of like something along the lines of what's that show? The Boys. Although personally I'm not like super into like that level of like darkness and grittiness. You know, like where superheroes are committing like completely, out and out manslaughter, and like all of it's being swept under the rug by like the government. They're committing like crimes against, their significant others and that kind of stuff, and it's getting rolled underneath the mat. That stuff is like, it can be juvenile and like really fun, but like at least personally, like it really like drains my mood when I watch stuff like that. So like you have to like, call me what you want, but I like it like, just makes me feel terrible inside, just watching like these just like warped pictures of characters or warped characters in these just like completely miserable situations. Especially for like egregious amount of time, and if like the writing isn't very good, then it can like really just like keep twisting that knife in you. I think The Boys does a great job. I don't want to sound like I don't like The Boys. I think it's a very fun show, despite being very grim in tone and like setting. But that's what I'm talking about. Like you need to have the right balance of it. So the idea that I like to play around with is like one of those type of worlds where like the superheroes aren't exactly super squeaky clean. Maybe somewhere between The Boys and I don't know, like Batman v Superman, where it's like it's dark and dour, but Superman's not actually I don't know, beating his wife or whatever, or melting every civilian they just feel like melting, and then the government sweeps it under the rug. More like like they get people hurt and that gets covered up under the that they just like bail out people who get hurt by superheroes gone rogue and that kind of thing. But yeah, what would be interesting to me is like kind of like imagining what normal human beings who would have to like compete on that scale, kind of like Batman, but not necessarily a vigilante whatsoever. Like I like the hero Deathstroke, and maybe he, should stay more of a villain. But I think the New 52 had like a really fun run, and I don't know how often he's depicted this way, but he's kind of like a mix of villain and anti-hero. So usually he's just like interested in money. But I think there is something like really interesting about what it takes to like be competitive in a world where people can lift cars and run at the speed of light, or not necessarily speed of sound, I guess. And specifically, what kind of like crazy people would ever like try to like exist in that world? And one of those things to make like the comic book rules like all exist is like, I think they would all exist on like word of mouth and reputation and fame. So like they wear the costumes not necessarily because they want to, but because it's like a branding thing. Like they have to have like a shtick in order to like stand out enough for contracts. So someone like Bronze Tiger or Deathstroke, they have very clear visuals and very clear outfits, and you kind of know what you're getting. You know, like you go with Bronze Tiger, he's gonna have claws, or you know, really good karate or kung fu or jujitsu, whatever you want to say, martial arts. Deathstroke, you know, you're gonna have the sword, you're gonna have guns, you're gonna get it all, and you know, like leadership skills if he's like in Suicide Squad. And I like in thinking about like those characters that have to that aren't like complete psychopaths. Like I think who's that character? Bullseye from Daredevil. I think he's usually depicted as just evil, and I mean it makes sense. You know, he's a hitman. But, you know, there's also, you know, like in whenever you're taking into the morality of a comic book world, and I think depending on how you write the world, you can really have a make sense where it's a very lucrative field, and in some way like one of the only ways to actually thrive in that kind of world, because you know, like it's just everybody else is being like torn apart, or you know, always always living in fear of being, you know, attacked by an alien invasion, or you know, Darkseid snapping the world in half, Thanos snapping his fingers and, you know, deleting the population. So yeah, trying to find that balance of telling like human stories in a world where everybody's just not human. And how do you like cope with that as a human, just like a normal human? Maybe like a little genetic freakness, like you know, like you were tested on and you're like super athletic, but not like super athletic like Captain America, more like just slightly above what a normal human do without like the experimental drugs that you were taking during this government program or whatever. Can't really think of any heroes that are just like slightly above what a normal human being can do. Is Daredevil, is he like just, it feels kind of silly because I don't read any Daredevil, but he's just like a normal guy. He just has like very super hearing, like actually like genetic or the radioactive stuff that splashed on his eyes also gave him like super hearing, not just like, you know, he didn't have eyesight, so he had to like cope. He actually has like this like almost like supernatural hearing ability that gives him like above what even a blind person who like is specifically trained for it would have. So like he can actually like hears people's heartbeat from across the room. So maybe something like that, where it's like they're definitely not regular people, but you know, they can still get shot, and you know, Superman punching them in the chest is absolutely going to like almost guaranteed to like kill them in like a single instant, and you know, like within like a few minutes, because their like chest is gonna be caved in, and they're gonna need like emergency medicine immediately. Or just, you know, they fall off a building because, you know, some of their equipment ended up being cheap. Like just, you know, small little issues like that, and then them having to like dodge like cosmic events and just try not to die all the time, and also dealing with other hitmen, and you know, like who are trying to compete for the same contracts. I think that would be very fun, to a very fun idea to play with. Just having normal lads, maybe just a guy who came back from war, has like a little bit of PTSD, and instead of like coping like with that like an adult, or going to therapy like an adult, they kind of just, you know, drown it in alcohol. But you know, overall they're still like decent dudes. It's just like you wish they would do better for themselves and the people around them, and just, you know, do cope with their issues in like a very healthy way. But you know, it's there's a lot of stubborn people who don't want to do that. I guess I can consider myself amongst those people who don't want to like cope in an adult way. They just want to kind of like ignore their issues. And I mean, like, who doesn't? I don't know very many people who are like always handling their situations in a very level-headed manner. I hope this character doesn't look as John Wick as it's kind of turning out to be. Who knows? Maybe I'll change the hair like last minute. Because I really want to do a character with this hairstyle and make it work and not have to like go to like my comfort zone of like, you know, just random spiky hair. But sometimes it just looks better that way to me. Like it just genuinely looks better to not have like these side swept bangs. How are we doing? I don't know why I zoomed out like I haven't only been working on the head. We are 30 minutes in, so this will be the stream. Just having fun with all like the chunks of hair. Giving enough like looseness to everything. I think John Wick has more of like a very tight hairstyle where it's like very tightly slicked back, usually. And then, you know, once he's fighting, it just goes all over the place. Maybe it needs to go a little bit lower here. Oops, that's the wrong layer. Like, it needs to go like right here. Does it? Hang on, I think I got an idea. You can have like, just like a gap here. So maybe like the part that on this side is moving this way, and then the part like directly behind his neck is only like slightly catching up with it. So there's like a little bit more space. Maybe just like a single strand of hair where it's like in between the two chunks of hair. And then this one's just like kind of pressed up against his face because the wind's like blowing to the side. That's much. Keep it settled now. kind of like a really. I'm just trying to really add like a variety to the like the hair strands. And is there any other? I think I can do the rest of the lines just for the hair on my own, or without the guide. Just like kind of feel it out from where it's flowing. Ooh, that's a little bit too much. Here's always fun. You gotta have like a lot of freedom to like express the like texture of the hair with just like the lines, and then you also gotta like break it up into chunks so you can get like different like shapes to the hair. So I want this to be like a little curly, but mostly straight. Like usually if you have like straight long hair, it's like a little, you know, there'll be like different chunks to it. This is a very weird way of describing it, but like there'll be chunks to the hair where like it'll be like groups basically. Chunks is kind of weird, but it like feels right. And then like there's just has like this in and out flow to like individual hairs, unless you have like very 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 straight hair with like no like life to it. Which I mean happens. Like I think not to like the style. Like just some people just are just born with very 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 straight hair, and I know some people get very frustrated by when that's the case. You know, just like a lot of people are born with their hair textures, and you just gotta find like the styles that you're most comfortable with. But the one person that comes to mind is like Steve Aoki. Like he has very just straight, very long hair, and like not a single curl in his hair that you can tell. And I think that's a very strong look too. Like it's very formal, almost, which I'm not sure is what he's going for. But you know, like I said, it's like some people are just born with hair that is normally that straight. No curls at all. I was born with very fluffy, curly hair. Very fuzzy hair. Not frizzy, but fuzzy. And I like my hair. What left of my hair that I have. I was trying for a smooth line, but it's fine if it's actually kind of wonky because it's just like flapping about in the wind, and it's got ties can kind of have like a stiffish texture. Sometimes they're like silky smooth, but depending on like the specific type of like material is made out of, like it'll like have like folds and whatnot to it.
Is everybody in the groove?
So instead of just like smoothly flowing behind the middle, like
We're just warming up.
bend and a little awkwardly and a little stiffly. Maybe just the one little bump. Oh, the brush is on eraser for some reason. Hmm. Okay. Just felt like trying that out for a second. The shadow underneath the neck is very common, so pretty much at most lighting angles, no matter what, you're still gonna have like a pretty deep shadow underneath your chin. Or if not your chin, sometimes the collarbone, if it's like from really far below, the collarbone will cast a shadow onto the neck. Usually just the neck is almost always covered in shadow. You have to have like very particular like lighting in order to get that in order to, for anything else to, for it to appear on brightly lit. I was losing my words for a second there. It's alright, my brain's not dead yet. I might have to take a nap after this session because I woke up and then like just couldn't go back to sleep even though I had only slept like 4 hours. It's very frustrating, but sometimes you just can't force yourself to sleep. I was in like bed for like an hour, just like eyes shut, and nothing was happening. So like I just had to like call it as soon as my alarm went off. I was like, yeah, we're not gonna get any more sleep. Like that's all I'm gonna get. Because I still had like maybe like another hour to just like sleep if I chose to. Like I have like one of my alarms like very early. You know, like I was saying, like sometimes you just can't force it. That is an eraser. I was wondering why nothing was showing up. And you know, so I just plan on taking a nap sometime today, just to see if I can like hopefully catch up on sleep, so I don't just run the rest of the week completely just out of it. Because my work week was terrible as far as my sleep, and I felt really bad about it. Like, you know, literally like out of every day, like it was like 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep. And I know some people are like, you know, that's not even, it could have been way worse, but I try to avoid that. You know, like I don't like that I sleep terribly. I'm not like I'm not trying to like see how bad I can get. Ooh, I should not be shading right now. I should be focusing on line art. Yeah, just like not getting the at least like 7 hours, 8. Sometimes I don't even feel like great with 8. Sometimes I still feel like terrible with 8 hours of sleep, but it's like I know I need it. I am not one of those people that have like the ability to run completely perfectly on 6 hours of sleep. It'd be nice. I think we all kind of wish we had that. But I think one of these days it's gonna really catch up to me how like bad I've been sleeping my entire like youth. Because when I was young, I was like really obsessed with like trying to not sleep at all. And young, I mean like 13, 14. So I would stay up until maybe 3 hours after my bedtime, 4 hours after my bedtime, until eventually now my usual is like 5 in the morning. But then eventually I had to like cut it off because I at that point like there was no, once the sun started coming up again, I was like, oh, there's like no point to staying up this late, because that means like I'm not gonna catch any of the sun whenever I wake up. And even as an introvert, it is kind of nice to see the sun every now and again. Be awake while the sun is still out, not shun. Actually, I like that one. Let me smooth out this a little bit. How far down is that supposed to reach? I think like right here is where it's supposed to cut back in or round back in. The little like lapel. So there's a collar where it goes like around the back of the neck, and then there's also like the second divot. I don't know what to call it. Where it just like rests on the chest really nicely. I don't know what that's for. I think you're supposed to like wrap it around you. I don't know. I actually don't know what lapels are for. Are they just decorative? Lapels are folded flaps of cloth on the front of a jacket or coat. There's no explanation as to why. Oh, hold on, here we go. Oh, okay. So it looks like the entire point of lapels were to like help cover up your neck whenever there's like a breeze, which makes sense. I knew that, but what about the ones on like the chest? As far as I can tell, it's just decoration. Okay. All right. Just a small little side tangent. I was just curious as to why jackets even had it. I mean, I had a feeling they were just decoration, but you know, I was wondering if there might have actually been a function to it that I just wasn't seeing. And as far as like the collar, like that's I've kind of always knew that one, but like the front like lapels that you get on the, that like are more on the chest. That yeah, that's more just the decoration. I just realized I don't think I ever drew his thumb on here. But that is something we can resolve. That's what the stage is for, last minute adjustments. Before I get on to like rendering and everything. Which I'll probably go ahead and just leave for the next stream because I don't have like an insane amount of energy or direction right now. I think I pretty much knew ahead of time that this was going to be just getting a lot of the line work cleaned up. Which is fine. I think this one I'm not planning on taking, being very quick with like the last one. This one I want to take my time with because I really want to like pull off the concept well. Sometimes it's just like the random ideas that come to mind that is like putting a lot of effort into like simple ideas. It just really works out for me right now. Like I have a piece that I just finished last night that I am really like. I think it's some of my best work, and it was just something I did on a whim because like I was bored and I didn't have anything else to do. So I was just like, all right, I'm at a magic convention. It's a bunch of like vampires. I don't know if they're cyborgs or just biomechanical alien thingamabobs. But like there was a lot of like inspiration for like different styles and stuff there. Just being surrounded by all that magic art. So I just like drew like a vampire lady. I was just like, you know what? Let's do vampire queen. Queens and magic is, well, I mean, obviously there's like a lot of magic at a magic convention. But yeah, the drawing I came up with after doing like a few quick sketches ended up turning out really well. And at like every stage I was kind of just like very impressed with what I was working on. which doesn't normally happen. Usually when I'm working on something, my brain is like, this is the worst thing I've ever done. This is the worst thing I've ever done. This is the worst thing I've ever done. And then once it's finished, I'm like, oh, that's actually really good. This one was one of the ones where I'm like, oh, this is actually just great. Like, I'm very impressed that I managed to do this as well. And I'm hyping it up, but honestly, it could end up being like just very meh. Sometimes artists will have like way too high of expectations of their own art. It'll be like the ones that they work the hardest on will get like no recognition, and then the ones that they barely even like thought about end up being like the one that really makes their career. Like goofy little sketches that they do on the side will be like world famous in like for like a week. Okay. Okay, let me take a second. Just breathe. Just like cranking into like a bunch of art and not taking a second to breathe can really be taxing. Just staring at a piece and trying to like focus on different sections. Yeah. As far as like what I plan on, as far as the rendering, I think we're gonna be doing taking some of the stuff that we did in the last like few experiments, where I use the contrast color for whatever I'm shading in as the shadow color. So if you have like a red character, then blue will be the shadow, or green will be the shadow. Sorry. Then blue characters will have orange. Orange characters will have blue. Pink will have turquoise. Yeah, pink. Pink. I think it has like whatever's between. I think pink is just like a rosier red, so maybe a little bit of purple. So the opposite would be a little bit more on the green and blue end. So I think it'll be like somewhere in between green blue. So yeah, we're gonna look forward to that. And then also as far as the buildings, like I'm thinking, let me see. Let me just turn these off real quick. Just an example, I'm gonna try to do like very transitional or gradients for the buildings. I'm not an active layer. So let's say the line art for that is here. I'm gonna see if I can get like really nice gradients and like textured gradients. That like fade off into like I guess light or mist, probably light from below. And then like I can have like little cutouts of like like I don't know what the word is, windows and room lights and everything. I'm just going all the way up. Then trying to keep that in line with the perspective is probably going to be a nightmare, but we'll leave that for another time. We'll worry about that later when we get to it. I wonder, can I... And then I'm going to grab the gradient. Something like that. Oops. Ooh, what the? Select, invert. Select, deselect. So something like this is like what I would be planning, and then I guess this side would just be like completely filled in. So this wouldn't have like any gradient at all in order to like give you the effect that it's like this side is like not hitting the light as well. Maybe a little bit more towards the bottom because they're all going to be like covered on light from the street below. Then, you know, just like a couple more of those. Yeah, you've already seen the building, so that's basically what we're planning on doing as far as the background. What are you? You're shady. What does that background look like again? Already lost it. I forgot. Okay, then yeah, we're gonna have like rain. We might do the rain. We'll see. I'm not sure how rain is gonna look in this area. I can't really think of how rain looks normal in like moody pictures like this. Are they just gonna look like cutouts? Are they gonna like have like highlights? I don't know how rain would look. Sorry, I'm just taking a second to look at the piece. Just think about what I'm doing. Maybe we could do it like a helicopter up there to give it a little bit more life to the background too. Show that like things are happening. We'll see. All right, back to line art. I'm gonna hope that we finish the line art today, but I don't think we're gonna move past that. If we even get done with the line art today. We'll just have to see. Should I do this in like regular straight lines like this? It'll take the life out of it, but it is like a very mechanical thing, so maybe that's for the best. That there is like very little life to the gun itself. It's not like it's supposed to have like a personality or anything. Just try it for a little while, just see how it goes. See if I like get bored or something. But like you can already see like that I was like trying pretty hard to keep things clean. Like I was trying to like do the line over and over again, and even though all it was just like a normal straight line. So there's probably gonna be. It'd probably save me a lot more time if I just use a straight line tool. Not everything has to have like all of my artistic. What's the word? Take all of my time for like my artistic hand. I don't know what word I'm trying to use there. But whenever you like let your own blemishes show through is what I'm trying to say. And just like have it represent your artistic language, your style. How does it look? Yeah, it looks very structured. I think whenever we get to like maybe some of the shading, there'll be like a little bit more life put into the gun. But like I said, like it's not really a section that needs like a ton of like artistic license. I think that's the word I've been trying to use this entire time. Like it's fine if it looks a little almost like 3D model-ish. I can give it texture whenever we get to the rendering stage. Give it texture, give it a little bit more roughness and uncleanness. My hand's starting to cramp. That's weird. I don't normally have hand cramps like that. It's probably a sign that like I'm not being as stable as I should with my wrist. And that is why we use stable brushes, because it makes your lines way cleaner. Because there's no way my normal drawing hand would be able to make a circle that neat looking. Hang on a second. Sorry, I have somebody text me about something. I had to use my professional voice for that. Okay. Someone was asking about a commission, and I want to make sure like I got back to them and not leave them hanging. I sent them off a few ideas to like choose from, and they made the decision, and I want to make sure that they know like I'm gonna be working on it as soon as I can, because I think they need it by the end of the month, which is a bit of a rush. I mean, it's like 10 days. What is that? 11 days. Okay. Oh, well, 10 days from now, actually. Hold on. I did my math wrong. Which I can do, but I'm going to have to push, and I don't like to push. When is like it's gonna be? Okay, so Friday. So next Friday. So yeah, I should be able to do that if I push. Because I don't want to like rush it to and you know like have it not be like representative of like how I like my art to look. You know, obviously I don't want to give like rushed art for a professional commission. I like to take my time and care with you know, people who spend money for me to work on their characters and such. But whenever you give me deadlines, I have to like really push hard to make those. But I think I can still like make something good even with like a little bit of push. Like a little bit of crunch. Because as much, especially with like commissions, I've been a little lazy on them this past like few months. So like I think I'm due for a little bit of crunch because like I just haven't been taking commissions as seriously as I think I should. Can I just do one straight line? Holy crap, that's a very like consistently strong straight line. Yeah, well. I don't know why, but I don't know if anybody's seen this the TikTok or Instagram reel of like the audio of the guy complaining about saying like you're as big as a giraffe, and then the other guy saying that you look like a baked bean, and that audio is like swirling around my head and I can't get it out. It's very frustrating because it's like a goofy voice. And it's very funny, but like I can't. I wish there was anything else in my head right now. Like I just listened to like 2 or 3 new albums, and none of them are in my head. It's an Instagram reel. Technology needs to be stopped because it's putting memes in my head, and I don't like it. I haven't done that in a while. Actually, now that I think about it, I haven't made like a little character off to the side. Now I feel sad. Maybe if I get like my this phase done pretty early, I'll do a little guy. I think because like since I don't know 5 or 7 pieces ago, I've been focusing on trying to get things done quickly, and hasn't left enough time for me to just make silly little ads, silly little dudes. I like drawing silly little dudes. I'm a silly little dude. Let's see. Actually, let's do it like this. Ooh, why is that so huge? Trying to make the width of these things a little bit more consistent. Okay, I'm gonna merge them now. I probably should have done this from the start to just make it one smooth line, but I thought I could get away with it, and then it turns out I can't. I can. And when will you learn that your actions have consequences? All right. Wait, hold on. All right. Yeah. We're good. God, I love the stability settings on this pencil. Or I mean, it's like the all brushes. I just use the same stability. Still, it's like slightly delayed, so that way you can like smooth out the lines for me a bit. Because I don't have the. I've mentioned this before. I'm not a very neat person. As far as like my art, I'm very rough. I'm very caveman-y. All I can think about are the games that I want to play, but I have work to do. Why? Why must they work? Oh, it's because I like money. And the passion for art, but also mainly because I like money. That's not true. It's the other way around, but I do like money. Or rather, I like what money can give me. Otherwise, I think everybody hates money. It's all about what it can give you. Oop, I meant to do that. I'm gonna keep that. It's not completely smooth, but it's smoother than I thought it'd be. Not sure where that line decided to go. Just, that was weird. Sometimes my wrist just decides that the line should go to the moon. There you go. So I cut them off to be a little neater. Or a little bit more consistent. There's not supposed to be a line there, but I want to put like a line here to show like this is where the shape ends. Or it becomes just like a flat surface. Oh, what does it look like? Okay. And I remember scars, they have like a really prominent like front post. but you can like also put them to the side, or you can like, what's the word? Take them down in case you have like a red dot sight, or I guess in this case a sniper scope. I have no idea what this is. Do I still have the gun reference? Oh, I do. Oh, it's just more Picatinny rail. Okay. Probably should have kept this up for longer now that I think about it, because I have no idea what some of these lines are, that I drew are. Oh, that too. So you can tell where the rendering should be going. No, I'm gonna leave that there. Okay. It's supposed to be line art, but I'm gonna just go ahead and. No. Let's do that on the like the shadow layer that I already have going on. I already got going on. I'm gonna let like this into here too. This isn't. I don't even know if this is gonna like line up with like the lighting once I get to that stage. Yeah, I need to remember to go and have a sit down and think about like where how I want the lighting and the rendering style to be. Like if I'm gonna keep the line art, or we're gonna just do it like in a painterly style for the first time, because that's something I've been wanting to try. But sometimes those work better for things that aren't so technical or very like detailed for stuff like this, or at least for me, because the lines help me keep things very neat and clean. But then again, I guess I also need to get practice in just like being able to paint things digitally and also in a detailed and clean way. Okay, now we can go back. So the gun is now almost done. Is the scope supposed to be completely like straight, or not straight, but like are there supposed to be like sections that are straight? Yeah, sort of. Nothing super clean. What is that? Oh, I know what that is. That's like the hybrid scope where it's you can turn it from like a holographic sight to like a sniper scope. Just like you can click on and off the the zoom in part. But I'm gonna leave the rest of that like just like kind of just more of a silhouette, because it's very far in the back, and also you don't need to know the exact specifics of like every single detail on the scar in order to get that it's a sniper. It is kind of crazy how like you really can't tell. You really can't tell. It's so thin. It's such a skinny gun, but it's like very tall. So it's like a heavy gun compared to like some of like the lighter, I don't know, ARs in Descendants. But because it's like just like the shape of it, in order to get like a very chunky looking gun, or like I guess a more what you would expect from a gun, I would have to like have him hold it like to the side in kind of like an awkward manner. When like there's no real reason, it's just like up into the shoulder. Like that's all you really need to do. Sometimes you can exaggerate for art, and I guess that's definitely like something each and every artist can independently decide for themselves. But for me, it's like very hard to justify. Like sometimes I just feel like there's no good reason for him to like have his gun carried in such a silly manner. But someone may feel different. But this is my piece. I gotta decide how I want to draw it. No, I'm open to suggestions. Maybe he can carry it with his toes. The sleeve should be like puffed out way more because of like he's like it's like riding up the sleeves, so like it's gonna like pull around his like wrist or his forearm and elbow way more. So there should be like a lot of bunching up of cloth. It should look very lumpy, not like very close to the sleeve, unless it's like a stretchy fabric. But this is just supposed to be like a normal detective raincoat. Or at least that's the like mindset I have going on. As far as like trying to like figure out the shapes and waves of everything. I don't know why I'm so like displeased with how it's like pulling around his wrist right now, or forearm. 1 second, be right back. Or I'm just gonna like Google stuff real quick. Sometimes you just have to have references for things like this. You can like learn how to do a lot from just like second nature, but like sometimes you just gotta look it up whenever you're going for like something very specific and things aren't working. Why is there so much Peaky Blinders? I don't understand why people are into Peaky Blinders. I mean, besides like the vibes, I do like the vibes. Okay, I think I'm getting there. I think I'm getting close to what I need. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. I think I got how I want it to look now. Wait, hold on, let me check one more time. Okay. That's a little too much. It's probably something I should have worked out during the sketching phase, but it didn't occur to me that it'd become an issue then. Hmm. Okay, no. I don't know why I'm struggling with this so much. This is just this one part of the sleeve. For some reason, my brain is just like not clicking. Hmm. You know what? I think I'm overthinking this. Let me take a million steps back. Me overthinking things impossible. Oh my goodness, I keep doing the same thing. There we go. At least this section, because I feel like the like shirt part, the like the part that drapes over his the jacket part, I guess, is good. The upper sleeve I did just fine, but for some reason it's this other part of the like forearm that's like I'm really struggling with, and I think maybe I just need to start from scratch. Keep it very simple. So you got the very big part that drapes over the you know, like this is gonna be hanging low. It's gonna be a little O over here. Then there's the part that's like really a little bit more firmer around the sleeve, so that's gonna drape. But you know what? Before I even do that, let's just focus on the shape of the forearm. So it's gonna drape low from the sleeve. So everything's gonna be hanging this way. So maybe it bunches up around, like everything's pretty much gonna like bunch up around here. And everything should be like leaning in that direction. I think we can like keep everything simple. It like pushes in and out, but all going towards this like all the weight's gonna be like moving towards this direction. It takes a lot of practice to get like the wrinkles of clothes right, and I'm not like 100% there either. I kind of like just cheat, where I'll do like half of it, where I'll like think about the way that the cloth will drape over the body, but it'll be like individual sections, and they're not as well connected as I usually should do them. So like the sleeves I'll like do in one section, and then the shirt will be in a different direction, and I won't have like any connection between the two. Or if I do, it'll be very rare that I have like a good connection between the two. Because like even if you're like all you're doing is like pinching this part, you know, like if this part's pinched, that's gonna still like affect all the way to like the opposite side of the body. And I think that I don't connect as well as I should. This feels a lot better already. It's not perfect, but you know, like it feels like it's actually like going in the direction that it should. Just maybe like a little bit more working. Yeah, this is definitely something I should have worked out way earlier. But now I think I'm almost there. I think I'm like 70% of the way done with this sleeve section. Because like now I got like the everything shaped how I want it to be. As far as like the silhouette, it's just like working out like some of the intricate, the more internal wrinkles is what I was trying to say. And you know, also getting like the like weight I've used weight like 100 times in this part, but the like the shape and texture of the cloth. And this doesn't have to be like super clean in particular, unless you're like going for like a super believable style. Like it's okay for like there to be a bit of gaps, so long as it doesn't like completely break the immersion of like the like the logic of the drawing. Yeah, this feels good. Yeah, feels way better. And I think this section is gonna be like entirely shadow. Let me. Why is that always an eraser? So this section won't even be like that prominent because it's gonna be covered up by the gun. Ooh. Take a second. I don't know why that part was so hard. Well, I do know. It's because I was trying to like do everything as I want without thinking about the whole shape of the sleeve. All right, now we can get to work on the other sections. I think once I'm done with this scene tonight, I'll give it a little bit more consideration to whether or not I want to change his hairstyle. I think we're pretty good on it, but I might ask some of my friends, see what they think. I don't know, because it's all like, you know, like just a picture from my head, and maybe I'm getting too obsessed with like trying to achieve something that isn't even like a thing. So like this image in my head is not like a fully formed image in the first place. So like maybe being like, oh, this isn't like giving the exact feel that I wanted. It's like there's not a feel in the first place. So, you know, being a little bit more fair to like myself and just like letting the drawing be the drawing. This is all on the wrong layer. Oop. All right, I think I'm gonna wait for the rest of the drawing to do the rest of the trench coat. So the next section will be. Let me turn off the lines. I think this line is supposed to be like the abdomen bit. Feels a little weird. Should it be that straight? Hold on one second. Okay. Maybe a little thin, but it's not too bad. I think I did want the like thin and lanky look a little bit more. A little bit like thin, a little lanky, but like just a bit of muscle and just enough muscle. I think that's what I was going for. There it goes. What does it look like? Okay, not too bad. See if anything starts to stick out later as I keep going. I'm wondering if like, so whenever you tuck in your shirt, it usually like puffs out right at the end because it has to like, you have to give enough of your shirt to, you know, twist and turn without like pulling against your belt if you have like a tucked in shirt. So I'm wondering if that might make him look like he's got kind of a chunky middle. But I think that's gonna depend on how well I do the wrinkles of the shirt to like properly show that he's not like chubby. Not that there's anything wrong with chubby. You know, I recognize as a fairly weighty lad. I'm at a happy weight though. Come on, please. Here we go. Speaking of details that I might be spending way too much time on. Making sure that the belt is properly sized on the waist. This should be thinner. The belt shouldn't be this thick. Especially not from this angle. Ooh, that one I think works. How are we looking? How are we looking? Is that belt too big? The buckle's a little big. Maybe I can just make it like a little bit skinnier. Still have like it long because it's since we're seeing it from below, the bottom line is gonna be a little bit longer than the top line. But I think it might still be too wide on the bottom. It's kind of looking a little too noticeable. Just like slimming it down on both sides a bit. Phone is going off. They're planning on watching John Wick. So the entire group chat is just going off about what day is the best. I want to watch it too, but I don't know when I will watch it. I have a very busy few days coming up. Okay, how do we look? Yeah, it's pretty simple. Doesn't have to be too complex. I'm gonna make it a little bit thinner on this bottom piece. All right. I think that's good for the belt. Oh, hold on. Now I gotta do like the little things. I'm just gonna cut out like the belt. I don't think this part I need to do too detailed. There we go. Ooh. That feels good. Okay. Just making sure I'm not missing anything important. Let me check my group chat too, just to make sure they're not saying anything about me, or not that they're not saying about anything about me, but they're not like asking me something and I'm ignoring them. Okay. Like I'm not paranoid that my friend chats are talking trash about me. I'm pretty comfortable with my friends. As much issues as I might have, I don't have that issue. I may be a nervous wreck, but I'm pretty happy with my friend group. Like, I think when I was younger, I used to have those issues of, or specifically, I used to have issues in this group about, like, you know, thinking like, oh, maybe my friends actually don't like me and they're just, you know, tolerating me. But by now, like, all that's like dissipated. But like, we've been together since technically elementary, but mostly middle school, and then really not until like high school. Like I knew them and I was with them, but like I never really like felt connected to them until like high school. That's when I like really like attached myself to my friend group. Nowadays, I know like I can annoy the crap out of them and they'd still love me. And that's what it's all about, because I like annoying people. You might have noticed. How does this look? Is this weird? the like wrinkles I'm going for on the shirt. I'm gonna do the other side of the jacket, like the part line, so I know where my boundaries are for the like inner shirt, the dress shirt. I probably should have done that before I even did the belt, because now I'm noticing it goes over that too. I could probably even go lower, like that. Then we can fix the line later. There you go. Now I know I only need to worry about it from here. I'm gonna go and turn this up. On. Just so I can remember. Chest here. Rib cage here. Sides here. It's not gonna be very important, but just to have it. Oh, I messed up my settings. Hold on. There you go. Should just be big enough for 5 brushes. There we go. Only bright enough to see what I need. And then his button. So let's try to get this line just straight down the middle. Obviously, oh no, let's do the wrinkles first. Let's do the wrinkles. Because then that's gonna affect how like the lines are gonna go in and out. Or the buttons are gonna have to go in and out. Let's see, 8:48. We got about another 30 minutes before we reach that 2-hour mark. And I don't want to go past the 2-hour mark. Spend maybe like another 30 minutes depending on how much more time I'll need. Alright, so let's get to work on these wrinkles. Not too many wrinkles, just enough. Kind of like the hair. You don't need to do every single strand. You just got to get like a general feel for like the texture of the shirt and how it's like wrapping around the body. The little divots in and out. Yeah, I think that's already good. Maybe just one more here. Just to even it out, because they're kind of, all the wrinkles are kind of on one side. Maybe just another one here too. Where it's going across the shoulders. Gets a little tight around the shoulders. All right, and then I can do the line going down the middle. Now that I know where the wrinkles are going to be, I am struggling to get my chair in the right place. There we go. So yeah, let's start with like as though it was perfectly down the middle. It's not gonna be a problem. Can dip in and out along this. Or hold on, let me take a step back. Let me take a step back. I'm gonna actually dig in and then pop out on this side. Then dig back in. Scoop a little, make it a little round so it does, as it goes down the chest. The ridge of the chest. And kind of get scooped up underneath the rib. Maybe more like that. Here we go. And how many buttons would be around there? I'm just gonna look up a dress shirt real quick. Guy in dress shirt, so I can tell how many. I think it's like 6 buttons you'll usually see. Just whenever somebody's like wearing a dress shirt that's like properly fitting and everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 right at the center. It's about 6. So we can imagine like one here. Hold on. Let me actually do like a little prick right here. And we can go for like 1 right here. Then we can just divvy out the rest of 4. So definitely 1 on the chest. 1 about here. And 1 about here. It's actually, hold on. Maybe this one a little bit higher. This one like right underneath. Then this one like right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing 1 button. So here. Actually, let's do like right there. No. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so indecisive with these buttons. There we go, that's a good amount. And then let's tweak the wrinkles just to fit around the shirt a little bit better. Now that we have like all the structure done out, we can more accurately do everything now. There we go. Nice dress shirt. Somewhere over here. My brother's overreacting. Wow. Oh, that's an eraser. I was like, why is that not working? That's not the right size at all. How are we looking so far? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Oh, I was like, why is it so thin over here? And then I realized that I drew the where his like sides were, so the jacket can just cascade right over that. Let's try to make it. Yeah, let's try to make it the wrinkles make sense. Sorry, I'm like blocking it out. I should probably turn off the underneath lines, the sketch lines, whenever I'm doing the wrinkles, because I kind of just like made up the wrinkles as I went along, in the sketch, and then like now that I'm doing like the clean lines, I can actually think about them a little bit more clearly once I have like a very like solid structure. That's not working. Ooh, what the heck? Okay. Right back to it. There you go. Whoa, wrong brush. Yeah, it actually works. Yeah. I don't think I need to do too many more lines there. Oops, wrong layer. Second, where's it? Music sounds really low to me, so I'll have to make sure to check on that whenever I get to the whenever I'm done with the stream. Just double check that the music isn't so quiet that like nothing can be heard. Like now, I guess. Maybe it's just me, so let me turn up my version of it. Oop. Okay. I think that's a solid jacket. If I mean, I don't want to be too crazy, but I think that is a good looking jacket. I think I did okay. Let me also draw his little buttons. You only see the like sections where he's supposed to put the buttons through from here. So all you get is those 3 little lines. And then, is there any other details I'm missing from the jacket that I referenced? Oh, we also have like little pockets on sides. And then that should be it. Yeah, pretty simple jacket that I referenced from. They don't want to usually. You don't need to go too crazy with the outfit like that. Actually, I don't even think you would see it from here, so I think I'm just gonna leave it alone. Let me focus. Let me focus before I do any of that. Oop, wrong layer. I'm gonna bump this up to like 15 because this is gonna be like right towards the camera. gonna turn off the backing for a little bit so I can get some good old appropriate wrinkles or clothing wrinkles. And bring down the width a little bit. Maybe I should keep this a little bit more simple. Hang on 1 second. My chair keeps popping. And it's annoying me. I think my mic can probably pick that up. All right. How's that looking? Yeah, it works. Doesn't have to be too complex. He's not wearing super. So he's not wearing super baggy pants. They're a little bit more fitted. I got really worried. I thought I was on the wrong layer. Because I think this part's going well, and I did not want to have it ruined. Yeah, that worked. Let's try turning you around. Ooh, hold on. Why am I not using my media keys? Because they're snappy, that's why. Oh, hold on. More like that. Wow, that was like first try. can't see the wrinkles from here. This look right. Maybe that line shouldn't be there. Maybe this should just like slope right into it. Ooh, not what I meant to do. Yeah, I just realized that this actually, because this leg is just like going straight down, wrinkles would not be as prominent like that as it is over here. Because this one actually is going like bunching up the cloth a bunch over here. But this side is a lot more lax. It should be a lot more laxed. That's good. I think this is a little wonky. Like it feels a little too chunky there. Maybe just like scoops right in. Yeah, I think that's good. Woo, we are almost done. We're just hitting that 2-hour mark, so perfect timing. Or well, I say perfect timing, even though like the plan was to hit that 2-hour mark and be done, but we just in time for the 30-minute extension that I already thought we were gonna need. All right, we can turn this back on. I don't know what this line is. I think that was just me getting some strokes with the jacket, where the jacket should be. So I'm gonna start at the hand, go like at 10, since this is like also pretty close to the camera. Not as close as the foot, which is at like a 15, but closer than most of the other areas. Hang on a second, let me use my hand as a reference real quick. Okay, so yeah, they're all pretty flat to the phone. also just... I'm gonna do this on a separate layer. Should it be a smartphone? I'm gonna do more of a... Let me just like Google what a burner phone looks like. Because I think you can get pretty cheap smartphones as like you know, like just like the not name brand cheap knockoff smartphones that are just like Android that installed with like a cheap version of Android. So let me see. But when I think of burner phone, I think of like burner phones from like the 2000s, which were like tiny little flip phones. I just clicked shopping. Yeah, you could still get like Nokia's. Flip phones still seem pretty decent too. Like cheap, I mean. Okay. Ooh, who's that? Oh, never mind. Those are just like suggestions. Sorry, I'm looking at Twitch for some reason. I should be focusing. So I think we can go for... I think we should do this like a flip phone. But I don't have a model for a flip phone. I'm gonna see if I can make it into a flip phone. But if it ends up like completely breaking what I got, then we might just keep it the smartphone. I think we could still do it. I don't think they have antennas. No. cleaning it till it feels real enough. I think I accidentally messed up the angle. Just a bit. Wrong brush. Or wrong size. Why does the angle feel still a little off? Hang on, let's do the thing. So his eyes are like... Or his face is like That's more important. The face is like facing this way. Probably should have did a different color. Let's do like purple. Red? Yeah, let's do red. Blue, last one. They all gonna hurt my eyes anyways. So the phone should probably match that. Yeah, we're pretty close actually. And actually, now that I think about it, I can just. Oh, let me control Z. Get rid of this. Okay. Since I did planned ahead and did this on a separate layer, we can just. Not do that. I think that works. Okay, now they're all part of one layer. There we go. I needed to tweak the hand just a bit, but it wasn't too hard. I think maybe the only thing is that his thumb kind of looks like it just jammed into the phone. And maybe we could just fix that by like making it lift out a little bit more. So like like that. Just a little bit like that. Just a little bit like that. There we go. Yeah, and it looks like that actually did help with making sure like the thumb cannot possibly go further than like that. Yeah. Yeah. It's working. It's all working out. I kind of know what I'm doing. This art thing isn't too hard. Okay. Ooh. I might spice up his design a little bit. I might go back to the drawing board a bit. Not too much his outfit. I do like the outfit, but again, like I think it's just the hair and maybe the face is a little too simple. And I like going a little kooky with the design. I think sometimes I think of like what I would wear in a situation, which is like very plain. You know, like I'm not like a high fashion kind of guy. And then whenever like I finish the design, I'm like, he's just wearing normie clothes, like normal things. Like his visuals look very realistic. And I mean, that's fine to a degree, but that's not really what I like to do style wise as far as like when I draw characters. Like I like characters with wacky outfits. You know, the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure I think is much more dynamic and interesting than Death Note as far as like character design, with the exception of Baby L. But L is also like kind of a freak in Death Note. Mikasa is way more interesting, but also sometimes femme presenting people have much more options than mask presenting people. At least in like normal everyday, you know, attire. At least normal in the opinion of, you know, normies. I've seen guys who can really pull off some crazy outfits, but you know, like it's not typically what you see. Sometimes you end up like what's the word? Whenever you get like into some spats with people, where people will point out that you're not supposed to be dressed this way, just trying to flavor things up a little bit. That's why I got rings. That's why I got piercings. It's because like there's not a lot of options for guys, and this kind of opens the doors to like some other options. And I think it also might have been whenever I was like looking up designs, I kept coming up with Hitman designs. So whenever I would look up Hitman, like you would only get Hitman the video game, and he is intentionally just a guy in a suit, so you can like blend into things very easily. And I saw someone who like spiced up his design a little bit by giving him a trench coat, and that's what I went with. So then whenever it like came to this, like all I had were just like, okay, so maybe I can just give him like just a really clean looking suit. But I'm forgetting that like there's a whole bunch of options aside from just like the actual like clothing that he's wearing. Because I do want him in just like a normal suit, not like a crazy suit with like metals and or anything like that to really spice him up. But like there's still like the hair that I can make kind of crazy. There's still the face that I can make kind of crazy, which I did a little bit with the scars. But I'm wondering like if I can even dial it up a bit. I wonder if I can give him like just like a bipod, just to really like add some more to him. I forgot I should turn this off so I can focus on the getting the wrinkles to fit right. There you go. I think that's really all I needed there. Don't need to go too crazy because the other one, you know, like I said, is like bunched up because the sleeve's up. But on this sleeve, it's kind of just all draping down, so it all it really needs is just the wrinkles towards the wrist and then the elbow and then the shoulders. Yeah, I can even make it like a little cleaner, like dial back just a touch. No, actually, I like that line going overlapping a bit. Maybe this one I can take off. Maybe just like a little one right there. Just like a little, just a tiny one, baby one. Maybe this one could go away. Just like have more of an impression. You just want to cross like that, but it's more of like a shadowy guide. Maybe this one gets a little tighter here in the elbow, like it gets right in there. All right, I think we're pretty much done. I might do like a little bit more by adding the bipod on this, and then but I'm gonna see if I can leave that for the next stream. Just overlapping the line art a little bit with the next stream, which would be the flats, actually, the flats and rendering. Wow, we're already moving into it. I might do the background next, but I think we can just go right into the flats. You know, clean that up a bit. And also, if I decided like redesign the character at all, I'm gonna do that on the next stream as well. Yeah, we managed to get pretty much all the clean line art done. Let me turn off this for a second. I keep it in for the final. All right, so I'm gonna just turn on everything that I want. What is that? Oh, this is the background. Let me just turn on the background. Nothing too much different from last time. Yeah, I wasn't able to do much but focus on this one stage of it because, yeah, I was just having a little bit of trouble. I didn't really have much of a plan on what to do besides this, and I'm still considering in like the back of my head exactly how I want to tackle the next stage of like coloring in the flats. I know I'm gonna do red. I know red's gonna be a big part of this, and if I'm doing red, then green is gonna be in the shadows. Maybe blue, a little bit of that, but we'll have to see. And then also like the strong lighting, I'm gonna have to take some time to consider that. Maybe I just need to slow down and like just let the stream be what it is, where I just sit there and think for a while and just like play with the textures. Maybe we even waste time by quote unquote waste time by just doing like a bunch of different lighting examples and then throwing them all away just to see which one I like best. That's fine with me. But yeah, all right, we're gonna go ahead and call it. Hopefully my audio wasn't too bad today. I didn't get anybody to give me feedback, but I'll double check my stuff later. So let me go ahead and do my sign off. Wait. Is that just the end of the song? 1 second. No, the audio just completely went out for a second. Hold on. I think I screwed with a wire on accident. That was weird. All right. Enough distractions. Gonna save it because I haven't saved once this entire time in the like 2.5 hours that I was working, which is terrifying, but it worked. But yeah. All right. No, I slept my sign off. Let's try that again. All right then. Thanks everybody who was here for today. Even if it was only for a few seconds or a few minutes, you just dipped in to see what was going on. I really appreciate anybody that takes time to just, hang out for a bit, see what I'm doing, just take a look at my art, maybe drop a compliment or two. Who knows? Just whatever you feel like. Or if you're just catching up on the archive that goes up later on the YouTube channels. So let me go ahead and call out my firstly my Instagram. I made a post today of some work that I did for a friend, a commission. And he actually went by the rates that I have up publicly as well. So his was a full body, I think it was complex coloring, like with like lighting and reflections and all that, and then simple background or simple props, because he only had like 2 props and I didn't really do an intense background where I had to create the room that they exist in. That's usually the dividing line. If I have to like completely like design a room or an interior room or exterior even. So if you're out in the forest, I have to design the forest. I could do like maybe simple shapes or like very simple mountains. But if you want like actually detailed, an actually detailed background, like I remember I did once for somebody the like background of Castlevania. So that would be complex props. Oh, I'm getting distracted. Sorry. So check out my Instagram. That's usually where I keep most of my artwork most up to date and where I post most often, at least once or twice a week. Sorry, once every week or every other week. There we go. That's what I meant. Yeah. And then also I keep little updates about what's going on in my life or what I'm doing, if you're interested in that kind of thing. So feel free to check that out. Also, I have 2 YouTube channels. So I have one which is an archive where I just upload the full streams and archive it to my YouTube channel. That way, if anybody wants to keep up with what I've been doing or see what I've done in the past and all the cringe that's worth, you can go and check me out there. Then I also have my time-lapse channel where I upload basically an entire stream and then speed it up into like 5-minute chunks, edit out all the empty bits. So you can watch it all within 5 minutes. Then, once I'm done with a piece, I do what I call a supercut, which is all my time lapses of a piece, cram them together into maybe like a 10 to 12 minute chunk. So you can watch the very, very first few sketch lines to the very, very final touches. I always love working on those. It makes me look like I'm actually like a really sophisticated artist. But I think that's just what time lapses do. I'm like a caveman with a brush. Yeah. Look forward to those. Make sure check those out. Give a like. Give us a subscribe. I promise I'm not super obnoxious with my uploads. Anyways, it's just once a week at the most. Or I guess twice a week. If I have a supercut, those usually go up on the same week. Then also I have a DeviantArt. So if you want to check out my some of my older stuff. It's pretty up to date. I think I'm a little behind. But then I also upload art that I don't feel like is really enough for like a full Instagram post. I'll just go and upload it to my DeviantArt. So check that out as well. I'm pretty active on there. I'm on there at least once a day. So if you just want to check out my profile, don't look at my favorites. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're not gonna be happy. You're not gonna be proud of me. What else do I got? I think that's it as far as the social media links. Then I also have the commission sheet down below. So if you want me to draw one of your characters, whether it's for role playing like Dungeons and Dragons or Vampire the Masquerade, I love working on those. Or if you just want me to draw maybe your favorite anime character, comic book character, I'd also love to work with you on that. The rates are always a little bit flexible, so if you don't really know how to use the chart that I have down there, feel free to shoot me a message. We can talk about it. I'm pretty flexible on those. And then I also love hearing about your characters, you know, like just figuring out how to get all the little details that you want about your character, just like all jammed in there in like a really like pleasing format, so you can use it as like a profile picture or just have like this really good memory about this one character that you built up. So yeah, go and check that down below. I'd really love to help work on your characters. As far as right now, commissions are open, but boy am I a little stressed. Having any kind of deadline stresses me out, but I'll be alright. I'll survive. And then also, if you don't really have anything you want to commission me, but you still want to like just give me a little money to help support me, I do have a PayPal link down below. If you just want to drop a few pennies as a one-time donation, I'd also really appreciate that. Helps me feel like I'm spending my time wisely and like I'm mean something to people. Like I feel like it's hard to explain how much it means for artists to get like money from somebody that they're not related to, isn't a friend. Like it's somebody, a stranger that's actually like willing to shell out their own hard-earned money on your art, and just you existing as a human. Like that means like everything to artists. So yeah, if you feel like doing that, you know, I'm not desperate for money, but I would definitely appreciate it. It just makes me feel, you know, valuable. It just makes me feel good. It makes my brain go burr. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I do these every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just check me out then. Like I said, tomorrow we're probably going to be doing maybe a few more tweaks to the design of the character. Maybe spicing him up a little bit. I already know that I'm going to give him like tattoos. Like that sleeve that's down, I specifically did it that way so I can show that he has tattoos on the wrist. I just didn't get around to it this stream. And then maybe adding a little bit more to the gun so it feels a little bulkier from that angle. Just a bipod, just give him a little bit more weight. Plus he's a sniper, so it actually would make sense that he has a bipod. And then we can move on to at least getting the flats down. That should take, I don't know, 30 minutes. But we'll see. I'm still thinking about how I'm gonna do the rendering of the character, so and the lighting of the character. So we'll hopefully get to that in the next stream. That's pretty much it. Thank you again. I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you next week. Bye. Sorry, looking at the camera sometimes.